Okay, so that was section 1. So now we're going to actually do 3 or 4 sections today. And we're going to start with section 2, and we're going to solve systems not graphically, but algebraically. And there's 2 methods that we want to learn. One is, let's see, the easier one I think is substitution, and 2, elimination. Okay? And for each one of these methods, okay, these are methods. So we'll do some examples, and we need to know how to identify the 3 possibilities above. And you guys already know how to do it. There was a question like that on your test. Basically, it's when we have equations and they evaluate the true statements or false statements. But we'll cover that in a second. Okay, so that's the first thing that we want to do. So let's just start with some examples. And we'll do substitution examples. So give this equation, or system of equations, 4x plus y is equal to 13, negative 2x plus 3y is equal to negative 17. Okay? So the idea, what's the root word of our method that we're talking about? What's the root word? So the idea is to find a variable that we can substitute. What's another vernacular way to talk about substitute? When I substitute something in, what am I doing? Starts with a P. I say it a lot. Plug it in. So instead of substitute, if you want to say plug in, that's fine. So we want to find a variable that we can substitute, plug in to the other equation. Okay? So to do that, all we have to do is look at our equations and see, does one of the equations have a variable with no coefficient? The first equation has the y, and this y has no coefficient. So let's take the first, and now it's not always going to be the first equation, but for this example, we'll take the first and solve for y. So we have 4x plus y is equal to 13. So if I'm solving for y, I'm going to get y by itself. I need to undo this 4x. How am I going to undo it? Negative 4x on both sides. So this is 13 minus 4x. Okay. I don't divide by 4 here. If you want to know why, you can think about, see these 2 terms, and you think, how are they connected? How is this 4x connected to this y? With addition, right? So we're not going to be dividing to undo addition. So to undo addition, we subtract. There were a few people who had talked about that on your test, so I just wanted to point that out. Okay, so now why is this helpful? Because we're saying that y is this thing. This is another way to write y. So step 2 is we want to plug this into the other equation. Plug into the other equation. Okay, so I'm going to write negative 2x plus 3. All that is coming from the second equation up here. But this y is going to be what? Right, and you want to remember to put this in parentheses because this 3 will be distributed across the whole thing. 13 minus 4x. That comes from this y. And then I need to remember this is equal to a negative 17.